Yes, Sister Brother, we're here one more time tonight. God bless to everyone. Welcome to this, your program, Talking Clear. We are here again to talk clear. And the theme that we have been talking about the politician that going on in San Andres, and what we are building up on is the overpopulation, Law 47, and also what would be happening for the betterment of the island. We know that the island is overpopulated, and anyone that have been going to present assembly and government and what we call governor, mayors, or to the council of providence got to be building upon this that we call the overpopulation. So we are here to talk about the overpopulation. And tonight we have with us, we have Mr. You can give your name.
Arroyo, Newball, candidate for the governorship.
And over the other side we have,
Allen Stephens, candidate for Assembly, Alliance with Archipelago, number 51.
all right, welcome my brother. Tonight we're going to talk about some good things because first we're going to talk about motivation. Motivation, what motivate Mr. Erlid to go to the Governación? And what motivate Mr. Alianza to go to the assembly to represent us as a people in this our island? So I just want to ask the motivation for my brother who wants to be the governor of this island. And also after we get the answer from Mr. Allen who are launching to the assembly. So my brother Erlid, you can go ahead. Tell me what is the motivation for you to launch out to go to the governor? So what come to you? The idea, your mind, your spirit. What is that desire that you have in heart to launch out to go to be the governor of this island? Go ahead, Mr. Erlid.
Yes, it's a very good night to you and all the audience of this important program. I want to send special greetings to all people from San Andres, Providence, and Cantina. We're glad to be here tonight, trying to exposing our motivation and not just our motivation, also our program to present to all the community. I want to get each one of the houses and each one of the inhabitants of this island to talk about our program and the proposal we got to be in the seat of the organization for the following the next 4 years. So answering your question, what motivates me to be today a candidate to the organization? Well, it's not just a motivation, it was a proposal from a group of politics groups from alternative movements. They asked me to be part of a process to be a candidate to the organization in these groups. And well, when the offer comes, we analyze and also share with my family and with other friends that will be supporting me in that moment of my life. Very several friends that have been like in an organization working. So I asked my wife and my family what they think about it, and I get support from both sides. Also, after I asked my mother, my brothers, and also cousins and sisters and others, and also I get support from them. So when that happened, well, what finally motivated me to accept and be part of this project, this political project today, was definitely I was been doing work, social work in different, not just in the public administration, also in private administration. So we've become doing a lot of things in three islands. And to think like being in Governación today, the island in the moment are in a lot of crisis. And I think One is that is one of our skills that have to confirm team and go to a community and try the solution to different problems we have in the island. So that is what motivates me. Like take our skills to a next level because definitely our island is people that are really interested to a solution collective problem. This island right now is a huge problem and we need people that have the experience, the skills, and also the willingness to go and try to do things different. So that is what motivates us to be here today in this position, like a candidate, an option, alternative option, and hopefully the community investigate and also observe like who are the people that are out there carrying the message to be the next major of these three islands.
All right, make we hear Brother Allen J, who are inspired also to the assembly, and he going to give his motivation why he announcing out to go to the governation. What is your motivation, my brother?
Then good night, Mr. Pusey. Thank you for this space, this opportunity to share with we community, with habitants, with ideas, and all we proposal that we including in we project, what we call our alternative project. My motivation, Mr. Pusey, is necessity. A lot of necessity that we community, we habitant them have. Necessity that not being satisfied in this moment. And I can say that I have the experience, I have the knowledge, I have the capacity to lead a lot of process, and I can, with the capacity I have, I can make team with society, with community. If we take out a lot of process, we need take out in benefit of this particular territory. So the experience I have in public administration ensure that I know a lot how the government, how the governation function, and really the mission from our deputy is do a serious political control on the department. So, what better motivation I can have with the capacity I show in the past? Where principal motivation I can get, say I got the capacity if I can control this institution where I know, where I get to know in the 20-year experience I work in public administration. So that is my motivation. I want the community trust in me. Say I went in all moment empower them and give them the tools and work together with them to make a serious political control on the department. If things not continue be folkloric like how we custom we see how we be. So that's is my motivation, Mr. Pusey, and we will there over pendant for any request you have in base of the proposal.
All right, we hear clear out to my people the motivation of these two men who are launching out to be governor and also to be a deputy of our island. And we're going back now to Mr. Arroyo, and this is the question that coming to you. What you have planned or in your plan if you should get to be the governor of our island or our department or the archipelago, what is your plan that you got to start work on this overpopulation, which have been our principal problem in the island, where the root of all what is happening at the island come from? What you have in plan to do according to what I hear the president say, he will be willing to take back some people back to Colombia because the land overpopulated, them who don't have okra in the island and have not the right to be in the island, they're supposed to take back to the mainland Colombia. So, what kind of project or uh, assignment that you will have to see if this work out in San Andres to give the island a little ease, even in a violence, the environment what have been damaged because the amount of people that have been up on this little land, the land not they grow, it's not going no further, it's not a big further, but the overpopulation have increased every day. What is your plan if you should get by the governor? John, what will you do to work upon this to see how you can settle down with this overpopulation?
Yeah, well, Mr. Fuse, definitely, I think we have improved them from many years to have a solution for our people. I think what we shatter is the willing from our governor and also the different team them. Not just this governor. We talk about historically all the different government that passed by. Well, I know why I say the 100% because I think several government try and insist and try to do things a kind of way. Maybe some of them didn't surround the right way. Others make some commitment that normally them do during the campaign them. And that's why if you look on what we're trying to do today is a different campaign. We're trying to make them type of agreements. We do spending this lot of money in campaign because them money coming from somewhere. And when someone invests all this pile of money in our campaign, them have to get it back one way or
Or
the
the
other.
other?
So that is why our campaign, maybe I see a lot of advertisement, maybe I see a lot of party and I see these things. Not even a lot. I see
No,
no
but
party at all.
what we are building up on, what is your plan toward
I come into
to
that. But
dismantle the
I come
overpopulation?
into that. But
All
to
right, make
get
we
to
see. All
that,
right,
definitely we have to talk about this
all right.
because definitely this is one of the result why to the day we have so many overpopulation. So
The way of doing politics.
the way of doing
All right,
politics because
understanding.
when
All
you're
right,
doing
let's go.
politics you have a lot of commitment and one of them is to expire sometime them documents what we call okra where give maybe foreigner the opportunity to come and vote in this local election. So that is one of the motive what we're increasing in our population. But I want name today a certain law will give we the skills them to try to do things the right way. And one of that is the law 915. And one of them is law 47 and the decree 2762 from
We're
1991.
coming in at a lot. We're coming in
Yeah,
at a
we're coming
lot.
in a lab,
We're
but I
coming in at a
mentioned and I try get to your answer because we just can't get answer because people sometimes don't understand and sometimes we believe it's
They
magic.
mix up the one with another
It's a
one.
magic way we can solution a lot of problem. So finally, the Article 310 from the Constitution, also the Agenda 2030 from the United Nations and the National Government Plan give you the skills them to take decision today. And one of them, we have to sit down with the national government and not make this just be a promise. For this become and be truth, we have to make this go through with a constant meeting and meeting not just to maybe have ideas, meeting where you take decision, not just the decision for the national government, where the national, the president or his minister them call the different major them from the department them, where the people them where is here, give them opportunity to take them back to their origin cities. But how you do that? You have to do it respecting the human rights. We can't just do it neither like if you're leading cow or you're leading animals and just throw it away. I think like independently or anything, all away are human rights. And if we are Christian believers, we have to think on our behavior like Christians. So we have to sit down with these major from them departments, sit down with the national government and begin sticking on that plan. You have to in our development local plan, we have to have some money in our budget that go to this project that we can guarantee that this be truth. We just cannot pronounce it in a discussion on radio or maybe in a meeting with our racial community, and finally 4 years pass and nothing happen again. So this have to be real. And being real, we have to make that meeting with these people and returning back volunteer first, whoever want go, and whoever want go, we have to look on other issues that in our law that give you the possibility, like people that commit maybe delinquents in our island, people that commit fault with environmental, people that maybe are here illegal. But also, I have a special proposal. We, like Islanders, San Andres and Providence, and maybe you can see this case a little bit more in Providence, today they have the same 5,000 as people from 15, 20 years back. Maybe the population increased, but maybe at 200 or 300 or 400 people. How that become? Nobody is banning in Providence. No, I think that is not the reality. The reality is that we have a lot of people in diaspora. And why people are in diaspora? Because they go look for opportunities to increase their quality of life. So why we cannot turn a problem into opportunity for these people from what that overpopulating our island? Why we cannot think maybe in countries like Canada, like Swiss, like other places in the world that have a problem? They don't have people and they need people to work in different areas, like maybe nurse, like maybe constructors, like even sometimes like professionals. Why we don't think like connect that to our educational program and like Sena and try give them some course,
That we can send people from here go work.
go work. Yeah, people
Like
are
how
here.
Canada asking for people right now
Yeah,
to
we're
work.
going to decrease the population. But that is not just thinking on that. This is just one of the issues. Because also we have strong politics about what is our young people, because every day our young girl them are breeding um, from a soon age.
And
Girls
that's not
from
like first
13
time you
years
got
are
all
getting
24 years before you know, got a pitney.
girls from 13 years are getting pregnant.
Yeah.
So we have to make a strong program to try prevent these type of things, because it's from several ways we're getting overpopulation. And also we have to have authority. If we do put authority on our decisions, and we don't show and make control and make them respect, and we have some sanction, this is going to be always the same way. So that is the proposal we have to try it. One, we have to stick to the national program that the president, the promise that the president do. Two, we have to think about exporting people from here. That is a problem here, but is a solution for other place. And number three, we have to stick to a strong program to the people, to the young people, make what we call
The pregnant.
planification program to avoid pregnancy from in a young age. So that is the true way we think we are work on overpopulation in our government plan.
All right, go back now to the Okre. We know say the Okre no got no foundation right now. 30 odd years and you know have been going nowhere. And they are changing directs of the Okre every year, and the one that reach there no have the amount of time to make any kind of plan for the Okre. We see that the Okre have been in need, and because maybe the Okre no got the right function, some of these issues will be happening in the island. So we know that the Okre is only established by a decree by the president in the Congress. But what is it that if you can be our governor to make someone who have represented over here put a law direct that the Okre can get the same function like how the immigration office have in Colombia? How you have to think about that?
No,
I make it
definitely.
be, I make the Okre be independent totally from the government line. Likewise, that's why the politics is handle it that kind of way, because you stick on to the government line, make it be independent totally, then have your own budget, your own base or something like that. What do you think about that?
No, definitely the okra and a lot of different areas that work in our government don't functioning because they see it like a refuge to send people in politics, what we call promises, like they take it like, okay, we need some job, no, we send the people in there without no type of maybe filter, no type of
You no got no
skills,
foundation. You no got no
no got no
foundation because that not
foundation.
for the work under contract, but I got a total base, a foundation. Zero.
Totally agree on that, and not just agree, but first we have to start think about the corruption is done in not just with the opera, with all the public administration. That is something is killing all the way in the island them. If we don't have clear the process them established for the community them know how things function, and that can with time, with steps, and with everything, we will always have corruption. And that one I think that we have to number two, we have to find the way to the okra, or the okra also in synergy with organization like migration, or like also one new institution that take over our circulation and population control. We have to give them that independence, because if it continue being a political decision from the governor, it will always be what inefficient organization. And also the way how them elect to the day, how you think like you can contract somebody for 3 months or contract them for 6 months and go and guarantee for them control. But 5 days about 3 flight, the dinner, the pitch together. And when the flight then pitch, we had 3 functionary, no more working, attending to the people. Finally, you feel like you can make a strong control that kind of way. If not even, we have the people working like an employer. The people is just contractors. Then don't have no type.
Not only idea about what
They,
is
they don't
occurring.
have no type of interest to do the things the right way, because when them contract done after 3 months, they have
Let's
to
go,
go back.
hold on a little bit better.
Uh-huh.
Not only say by them contract them, they don't got no idea what immigration. And just gonna go work foolishly.
Yes, and I think like just like how you take a young boy or someone to be part of a police organization
Habit training.
or be part of immigration, you have to give them capacitation. Also, before you put anybody in the okra, you should have them 6 months, maybe explaining them what is the problem of the island, them explain them what is the declaration of biosphere reserve that we have in the island, explaining them what is control of migration. And when you give them tools, then go and have more identity to go out there and defend the purpose. And also, they should have some minimum, at least talk English, at least talk several languages, because we are international destiny of tourism, and we tend to, so many people, at least we should talk two languages, Spanish and English, because
The
we
law
have to
says
send
so.
to different people.
Yeah. Well then we're going to that and then we come back to Brother Allen. We're going to the law party said no, because this is the one the part who want it hard. But then say when the stick hit on the ball and it hit hard, you go over the fence. I don't know if you understand me right. This part is serious. We know that this is an ethnic territory, and people who don't identify themselves with our culture, with our ethnicity, have been launching out to be even governor and assembly in our territory. And I want to get this clear with you, and I want to talk clear about it. Likewise, the law 47 and the article 45 say clear that anybody that going to function publicly in our island, if they banya, they must identify themselves with the common language of the racial people for them to be a public worker in San Andres. And today we have the question how some of these people who don't know we talk our language, they don't identify themselves with us, they don't know we beg a little water in our language, and they have been out there running politics like go to assemble and even governor to rule in our land. We are not against nobody. But I see in Colombia, me land likewise, I myself was down there in Cauca, Corinto, Uspa, Indian live. And Indian Ghanaian Korean, them is an ethnic people. And mostly all the ethnic people in the continent of Colombia manage under their own cosmovision or under their own authority to rule their own place. But today in San Andres, we with our land, custom, tradition, and with everything that we own like a nation have been manipulated by other people who want to take the political power in San Andres, and we are allowing them to do it. What you think about that? What we can do that this thing stop in San Andres, that only if a Spaniard born in San Andres and identify himself can talk the language, maybe got the faculty to learn so to be as them or us in the island. But if a man who cannot even speak our language to land out in San Andres, which is an ethnic territory, to be or assemble or assemblista in our island, you know they have Providence because I can't Providence. That is a truth. You can't Providence. Don't somebody from outside who can't talk Providence language now go run to Consejo because I don't believe Providence will accept that. And that they run right now under what is the cosmovision. But what about San Andres? We are noticing say in San Andres here, last gone only about 4 islanders in the assembly and all the rest was outside. When it comes to sign something or to approve something in the assembly for the benefit of the rice, and these people who is outside don't agree about it, they don't agree about it. And this type of territory. So we got to the beg somebody who don't belong to our territory to sign something likewise. Yeah, the deal with is something we call the tax. They never agree on the tax, and if the people, the rights people never live and come by the assembly gang and make one protest for them to get agreement to sign for the rights and not supposed to pay tax in the territory, which is the international law that ethnic people doesn't pay tax on the territory. And thank God it gone through by the people who went there. So I ask the question, be honest to yourself, and make we be honest to ourselves. That I believe that the law party say if somebody are here after 10 years they can land so for a sort, like governor and assembly. But the other part come back around the same law party say that if any man were working at San Andres, he got to know the both language, and if he know he can inspire to be a public um, servicer in San Andres. What you say about that, about the law party? Say, we're not working at San Andres at all. Because we notice when you go Governacion, and the Governacion, a pile of them, they don't know nothing about us, and the last thing they got to talk it, I know they work. The other day, colleagues from down somebody put you one demand, likewise want to Taylor, he win it, and the judge fire power priority at my wife and St. Louis, and today, up until today, in other function. So what you are do about that if you get to be the governor of our island?
You?
Mr. Arroyo, and then he coming to Allen.
Okay, Pusey,
You
thank you.
kind of
very-
a top, about
No. It's
we
not
got to
tough,
be
it's not tough at all.
conscious about it
Now,
because
what is the question?
this is what they look, let me tell you something. This was going on, this kind of politics that and rest, that were totally they destroy the island. Because no got no control. In our ethnic territory, got to get a control. In a Colombia, they happen. Why we allow it to happen, San Andres? That is it. Go ahead, brother.
Mr. Pusey, I want to answer you like how I answer you the first question.
Yeah.
Finally, no matter where you are, your house, you have some politics in your house, right? And if who are underneath you don't respect the policies them you have in your house, what happened? You have some
They want to run over me.
decision
Mhm.
and you take your decision and if they can't rule on them decision, well, they have to find a different way or the rule. If they want to steer, if they know what to rule, well, they will have to find a way to go, right or wrong?
Correctly.
So I think that what we shatter in our island them definitely is authority. We have several law where some of them. I always is a man where I think not just in our local law, I think also in human rights, and I think also
Internationally,
in the
correctly.
international rights them, and I think also in several agreements that make humans beings have today a balance in this world. Because imagine we didn't have a balance and everybody just doing war. The strongest one or the one who have the most tools
Well,
be
all
able
right.
to win all war and right around.
Yeah.
So finally, we have to comply the law them, whatever and however they say. And the law 57 is something we long time we ignoring and don't comply. But why we ignoring it? Because we make some commitment during the campaign, we give we,
So that
where we lose the governability when we get up there and we have to comply certain things. That
they violate the law.
we violate all the law, them, not just the law 47 and the decree 2762, but all the environmental law, the declaration from Biosphere Reserve, we violate it every day and everywhere, not just Spaniards, also islanders. If we definitely make already that committee will exist, function the right way in the government, we're going to avoid for them things continue happen. That no mean say what Spaniard can't work in the public administration.
No, I don't say that. I'm not
Yeah,
in that.
but
I
them
don't say
have
that.
to
Comply with the
have the
law.
skills them
Yeah,
when
the
the law
said.
exact.
Yeah,
And
I
we
clear with
cannot
that.
continue being permissive, helping with people, not just when you have the skill from English, because that is just one of maybe the requirement them to have a job. But we have so many things. However, and have maybe a pilot working maybe in engineer project. How maybe I go and get a doctor working in engineer project. Maybe we can put him for work, but working in his skills. So the same thing happened here. When we go and select anybody for work in any area, them have to comply with the law. So we have to put that what we call the committee to function the right way. For them exam and them evaluation and them things and also them practices will happen and go on. Make people will really accept and pass the test them is people who can sustain attention or conversation and with anybody talking in our language. If it's
So
not
you
so,
want to say that bad politics got the things set up bad so
yes,
horrible.
definitely. It's just short authority, it's short complying the law, it's short control, and that's why I think it's happening.
So some of them when they run politics, they make some compromise with outside it, and when they get there,
Yeah.
they have to comply with the
Not
compromise.
just that,
They violate the law.
not just with that, with monopolio.
Yeah.
If you see the construction then to the day is gain away with external people because it's commitment they have. They are very committed and they have these eh, 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 well that is not the word, but they're already committed to comply with these outsiders, so they cannot give the contract them to our local people. It's very sad to see to the day, say after 4 years in administration, just the 10% of the budget be contracted by local people.
And stay here.
By local people.
Not only 10%
And
stay
not
here.
even right.
Yeah,
So
correct.
if we go and analyze that a little bit deeper, we have to see the percentage out at 10%. How many of these maybe company or organization that apply to maybe one of these contract process is riser. So it's a thing where you said the 89% of all our money go to outsiders, and also not even the work them these outsiders when they come sometime then give our local
Just
people.
because they violate the law.
Yes. So how you want to construct what equitative territory that kind of way? How you going to control?
Tell me something about this what you're talking about. We have somebody where you call look over, or say the what call it in what I say in English, who watch over like why is the procuraduría, like why is
Okay, the control entity them.
yeah, correct. Them they don't function neither.
Well, I have something where I talk all the time in my discussion them. I definitely I say Colombia have a beautiful recompilation of law. I think the intention them is very good. You understand? But when you go to the practice, brother man,
In our
everything is violated. So we then go complying here, there, nor nowhere. So when we talk about that, we go direct to your question about the entity of a control. It's not just them; it's the system. The the what we call the power of the executive manager them that already full of corruption. When you go to um, the legislative part that full of corruption. And when you go to the next one, where the judicial part, we have also corruption. So who control who? No one to control no one. Who controlling this world right now is money. And sadly, that is something what
bandit.
our proposal is fighting against. We're fighting against, we fighting with ideas. We're fighting with proposal. We're fighting with people that really worried and are what going on out there. So that is something where everybody can see, and you know, you don't have to ask me this question.
That not everybody think the same, right?
Yeah,
Not
not
everybody
everybody,
think the
but
same,
I
and not
think
everybody
that way a
walk the
lot of
same.
good
And
people out there.
yeah, we got some people we stand for what is went radical to the truth, and I believe it can happen, it can take place. So make we hold on with you a little bit, and then we go with Mr. Allen. Drop near to the mic, brother Allen. The same purpose, the same Christian. We're gonna make it short with you because the man don't say a lot. What you think about the overpopulation? What you will put in your part if you get to assemble to work upon this population? Because this is one of the issue, one of the great problems that we have in the island. The island can't support with no more people. We don't got even service order and things like that. We don't have it because there is too much people. Even I hear them bring a new Salisadora plant in the island, and sometimes it work and sometimes it work, or it can't sufficient for the people because there is so much people. What is your plan if you get there in our ordinance to put in front of the government to start work upon this overpopulation? Because I hear that the assembly can go direct to make what call it, a law from here the island and carry direct to
Congress.
the Congress from San Andres. I don't know if they have the faculty to do it, but somebody tell me yes, they have the faculty to do it. The Assembly from San Andres have the faculty to do it. Make a bylaw and carry it to Assembly to see if they will approve it. Or the government can do it too. So what is your plan about that overpopulation, my brother?
Mr. Pusey, first, I want to tell us that with Erlid, we built up one project. Is what project we belong to we as team, and all we apport to that. And I consider we candidate express what excellent kind of we all these ideas and this proposal with the care to the community. I would complement what he say um, with what I consider what we have to work on. No? We have to work as Raisal in our real vision, our vision of the territory, the vision where we after. And in base of that, we will get clear what we want. Because sometimes with the situation then where they happen in a territory, it look like we full like we shatter common sense. When time we do certain action or when time we propose certain things, we not see what sense we find in these things. I put an example. Right now, if we talk about the tourism they come to the department, in a few years, we pass, let's we say in a 10 years, in a less than 10 years, we pass from visitors or tourists that come San Andres, we pass from 400,000 by year, 400,000 by year, we pass to 1 million and change tourists that come in the island. So right now we got the discussion and we see a lot of we want people, a lot of racial, they complain why this amount of tourists not they come and how them express the situation they affect the economy in the department. So when time we got this type of discussion is when time we start analyzing we really not know what we want for the territory. And apart from that, like how Miss Dr. Erlid said, we not understand how we would have attacked both overpopulation and all these engineer and professional and workers where them they bring in the department, they displace the local professional. We don't understand neither why we detect them type of decision if this they increase the population too. So the situation what it show is we now got clear what we want for the territory. So we consider say between all of us, we have to build really what is the vision where we want from the territory. And in base of that vision is when time we going to know step by step what we have to do to reach that vision where we have. But why is we not got that clear? Why some races let's say we should have got 1 million and change tourists and on other side some are we they say no we not pass certain amount. Them things have to stay clear. So then there is situation where we have to come and build up together, and in other sense we will see serious result. One other thing we see in this moment, say with the assembly right now they discuss the POT, the Plan de Ordenamiento Territorial. I consider in other POT, according with the proposal where we have to know in each area where capacity the territory got to support each thing. For example, we have to identify if really the amount of hotel where we got in the department, if they affect or not affect the environment. And in other sense, we have to take strong decision for say, for now we not going to permit no more construction of hotel in the department. Them type of decision we have to start take in that line. So I as deputy when working these topics and I when push all these ideas we candidate a gobernación have, and even when make what you call a seguimiento for all these aspect stay clear and come in benefit the sustainability of the territory.
All right. Let me see. Somebody with us. Hold on a little bit there. Good night. Give me your name and talk clear. Hello, go ahead.
Me, I want family village office. Where affect by the entrance where Marinella, where police tell you what we read. I my man
Give your name and talk.
If it's family one's banana, I want family then that it affect. Right hand family affect in who face. Where Lariano even Mr. Jefferson live behind there where you make your stairs and they are like outside there. Spanish ladies that feel or they get to fabricate, that black we have. You know got no interest, you know got no come you know got no money. When time every argument was there, we got messages also that police tell you, I don't know who tell the entrance. If I give us the entrance over 55 years and they tell the entrance, you know the case too. They tell the entrance. Police tell the entrance, and we got messages also by the whenever it was going on. And whenever they found it, they left you in charge. And you permit the lady to black we have. We can't come up, we can't go in, I can't bring no materials work for my house. And the whole family behind it, this was an entrance to 65 years. I always was studying, I know what I studied on Twitter was planning a place. One Sunday evening, your father come and they showed the man back the mountain major. And the one looking into a woman put the bank and pass. And the woman down and raped for the house and tell the people land. And that was the real entrance. And so we can't come up, we can't go. We got one fire put down here. We can't ambulance can't come in. Bombero can't come in. We have to step up and 6 bombero. And we got old people that live behind here. And they tell the people, they tell sell land to somebody else and then they try to kill us in the home there. I almost going to give the man permission because I asked him to favor. But I'm not only piece of work fabricated so and broke it down now, sell it in piece of land and broke it down. And we stay close up. We can't come out and we can't go in. I can't bring my material and car can't come in. We're going to fire a bomb down here, the bomb can't come in. The ambulance can't come in if we got anything to roll with. So my brother, what would they talk about? What would they talk about? What would they talk about? You want to go in charge. So what would they talk about? Get serious, man. Get serious, man. You have to talk the thing clear when you talk the thing. You have to talk clear. I don't like that. And I hope me because I wasn't one here. I think all the ones that behind here. We got that 65 years, Mr. Jeff, leave that people come out and go in. And when you want to go on with the man who wants to hold the fabricated house, and tell it people to tell them police, because police is parentia, your cousin police is parentia. You know my family together, I don't see it also. Stealing on my blood, I would have stealing behind. I don't like that, but I hope my heart, because we still broke out. Can't come out and can't go in.
All right, Pano, but who sell the land?
I don't know who sell it, but I know he give the permission. Because his father was here to show the man on Sunday, quite the great country. We know him family, we know the whole of his family, we know Alan very good. I know Alan good. I know Alan not stay together with right. I don't like it, brother. I don't like it. I don't like it. I know what's going on over there.
All right, then, all right, Pano.
I don't know further.
All right, good. So we continue with Brother Allen G. Brother Allen, talking about now the Party 5, the Party 7 law and the Party 5 article of the Party 7 law. In order to comply in San Andres, if you get to assembly to be one of our deputy, what kind of plan or project you will have? Just bring down that volume a little bit, brother. Just carry down a little bit. The volume of scope in the so. You carry that down a little bit. Turn it back down. All right. Yeah, good. All right. We get clear now. Yeah, if you get to be the one of our assembly there at the assembly hall to represent us, what you will do to see that this law function in the island, what you have planned if you should get there as one of our representatives being assembly of this island, what plan you will do to get this law party system working in San Andres?
No, Mr. Pusey, I believe I consider, like how Mr. Erlid said, the law is clear. What we chart is to apply the law, and we as deputy, that is our mission. Verify and make political control to the department to make sure that they comply the law. So you can choose and you can know say in the seat of deputy, and even with the community, with the inhabitants, them all the situation where we see them not they comply, then when got to a leader like Alianza, they put them fears, they put them chest, to make sure that them this legislation comply. And in BSA, what the person that say I never get to know the name of the person. How his name?
My boy Epifanio Evans.
Epifanio Evans?
Yeah, live out here by Hope, right behind Glasses shop.
Glasses.
He used to work like Saturday that day.
And
They call him Pano.
And understanding said that they sell a land or
Yeah, they sell a land. Since they sell a land in front of him, Governa, so they give some permission. The son Spaniard outside be right in front of them. So that is what they complain about.
Then really would I have to see the support.
Yes.
I consider we have to be serious with them appreciation or them position. And I is a person who work in BSA evidence. So I would invite Mr. Epifanio to show the authorization where I give as governor in charge. To do that where they express in his argument, because I believe it's something serious. It's a delicate accusation. And I believe I merit respect, and I consider in what I have to show the support at these decisions the government take.
Go ahead, Doc. Go ahead, Brother. You go ahead, Doc.
No, yeah, I conclude with that. No, say, beg you the favor if see how we can go deeper in this comment, and I would want to see the evidence that the person got that support, no? We see how I as governor in charge was get the authorization.
Well, instead, the place is right side of glasses there. The woman name is Marinella, and like she buy the land, no? And then he get the permission. I don't know if it's from Governa son to build there. So that is what him preparing, and him house is behind, and then person got a road that up to come up from behind it. So he say only one little place they know. So that is what they got a happen, no?
Yes,
So
but that
maybe
that got a lot of situation where we would have to analyze. One time with the talk about road, with the talk about public area, and apart from that, him the mention is land. If it's land, I consider it's a private area.
Yeah.
So if it's land, is land where exists, and practically them build behind one area when they got access, when they got road, because the land where he express about if it's a private land, we can guarantee that the people access will have to turn it public, and then would have to follow our procedure to do that. But in this case, he express I give authorization to build in that area. It was the authorization where he talk about, because to me, if him talk with certain property, is because he got the support in his hand. So I need him sure say Alianza give the authorization to do that.
well, he can get it to you if he got it, no?
Yeah, I would have
Yeah,
begging the
correctly.
favor. I would have
Get it to
begging the
you
favor
because
to do it.
we just are clear and a clear one this thing
Yes,
because
because
they
the
will,
program,
yeah.
just like how the program name, no,
Uh-huh.
with the tag
Get it
clear,
clear.
but apart from tag, you have to get support.
Correctly.
So I need the support
so
because
partner, if you got anything we can
Because
base
in
on, they will
a-
get it to the man and man system. That's what it happened.
yes, because
Yeah,
in
the man
all
clear
my
with that.
experience, I all
Yeah.
time work in a
We
public
got somebody with
administration.
us. We got
Um,
somebody with us. Good night. Give me your name and talk clear.
Good night. This is Mr. Calvetuka. Mr. Here pushed over husband. We have the same problem out here with Mr. Land that is very funny, but here in center. It's even mixed up. We don't have the man from the putty. The area them will live out behind my wife's land. It's even gone to the priest. Then they won't tell my wife and tell me to the priest. After the priest here, they can tell you good to hear an extra story, then you hear an extra. That have a big pile of stuff. How you want to get entrance from me and I no got none?
Well, Brother Allen, they here for your case. That outside there by when you turn your Ramona break shop, right?
You have to son buy a piece of land here and fight things. The man the area where they were politics, politics, the man the putty. Let's fight my wife to give them road to go in, to your entrance. And the road were okay. When come for long as I shop and they sell the land. And neither my wife, now nobody got the road to go in. Right now, we have to make an agreement with one land when we got nothing to do with it. To the north side to get in, and then they fight my wife and they run into the land and make her stop. Here down my son and sidewalk and everything happens to carry material. It's a pile of problem out there. How you want to give entrance to somebody when somebody else take the main entrance and sell the land and make them build housing as it would.
And then now they're checking everybody and who they're behind left and they want them to. It's a mess. But I got a proof document where my wife got land come from. Who are when the witness and the, everything and what you are everything for it. To the deep and living stand. So either we and them to fight. Because the me represent my wife. My wife not got no top white I live in. If I said, he will have to fight himself. The me that in husband married, lawful married husband. So that he not have to face, so that me that face. And I want to tell you something, my son. This thing, with this overpopulation at this law 47, the government that all the bad sides. Because them will know San Andres around 27 kilometers square. You only have somewhat limit as to water and everything. It's a boat. See, what is an island? A little portion of land surrounded by water. And them know it couldn't hold all these people. And they do it purposely to run the dirty, nasty politics. Tricks. You hear, I not say politics. Tricks. Because them know 27 kilometers square can't hold all those people that is on the island. It will bring more sickness, damage, and every single thing. Then they talk of the plant. We fire back the plant. But we had plans, so no. That's why I tell you, we don't have to get the history and come to see old people really know the history and not the investigative and no laugh and nobody. We don't go down. I know how we go down ask this to do. So investigate how San Andres was, what San Andres was, how would we arrange you to handle it, what would we arrange you to live, how we used to live, how we used to live, what we had, what was the product, and today we know that what is that? You know what is our product today? Basura, sickness, or garbage, they are talking this garbage, sickness, adulteration. People from all different parts of the world. How can man not this up? How can man be down 2 times or 3 times? How that not this up? Because they got one government for everything we hear. Politics, Bogota, representative, who are representing? We got anybody here representing whether we be Islander? What's the about it? And you see that nasty, that dirtiness.
That's why Islanders to support Islanders, but I call it that would they talk about, would they talk clear?
Yeah, man.
Islanders to support Islanders.
And stop this corruption and dirtiness, this disrespect, the disrespectful we, the native born rights owner of the territory. This island, San Andres, Providence, and Cantidate. I descend from Providence to my son. Nothing my grandmother from Providence from was home. With a Advent sister.
Amen.
The one here. So you don't have to come to me and I can give you all this story on one because I live it and I'm doing it.
Excellent. Yes, sir. Thank you.
So
All right.
I get that clear. Where Palo don't say is in perfect condition and perfect right. How you going to buy land and don't know how you want to feel. Fence me in and out the other one where the behind one I begin. My land you get it. What goes on? That is a shame and disrespect. And that one of them was said in the deputy. He said me and him went to talk and he can't come. In Ghana, the people report me to the priest. The priest don't stand with church. And me and the priest meet and talk. And when I tell him the story, he said, no, one story is good, tell you the other. You don't have a good year. Protect yourself. You can't get a territory without knowing the story. Have a good night.
All right. That was Brother Calvert. As Brother Calvert was saying about this,
Mr. Calvin.
you know Mr. Calvert?
Yeah, man.
All right. Was
Calvert,
talking about this land selling in San Andres for is a one problem, you know. And this is a part of the overpopulation because if we don't sell the land, the people can't stay here. So what make say something right here. If you get to be the governor and Brother Allen get to go by the assembly, what kind of project also you would build up that the rights shall maybe get a land bank where they don't have to sell their land and can put it and get any financially that they want and the land return back to them. That is a good project in that because if we continue to sell as well with they say right now, the land are one big problem also. That would increase also the overpopulation. Go ahead, brother.
I want to answer you one thing. One word is the solution of all this, what you just don't say, synergy. That is what not working here. Everybody working like what we is like island. If just you go in our government, where is one, where is a department government, and you see the Secretary of Health Planning individual, the Secretary of planning individual, the Secretary of Sport planning individual. So to solution this problem, what we need get is synergy with the whole governance system. I want to talk about the governance system and not just talking about the department government. We
Okay,
talk, we talking
help that to do with planeación to make a
planeación, but not
correctly.
just planeación. We have
Yeah.
to talk about our representant, where our congress's man and woman, where we were yonder, where they defend our rights, because this of the bank of project not just have to be something from the assembly. Why we not turn this into a law that protect the racial purpose and the racial ecosystem,
Yeah.
the ethnical group? The law 47 already have some protection, and the 2762 defending a lot, and the Article 310 from the Constitution.
But in other
But
words,
we need generate that synergy with our representative them from here, because them look like when they get elected, sometimes them forget about what is the purpose. This is not like if you make one entrepreneur business and you be successful. You could never be a successful person being a public administrator, because you haven't what we call our investidura, our close, or whatever you want to call it, that gives you the obligation to correspond to a purpose, and also into a group of law that you have to respect and have to comply. And one of them, a law is not a law, but is an instrument will turn practically into a local law, where is the uh, departmental plan of governance that you have to respect and you have to comply. And when you promise and when you take position on what seat to the gobernación, you have to sit down strong and defend them. I think even if you go against certain interests, if you have, that's why sometimes I admire some of Dr. Ralph, because
yeah,
he
correct.
maintain and
They
sustain
stand to it.
even if the system lock him off, because you have to stand up strong to the law them what give you definitely that way to protect your people them, and not just your people them, because we already have people also in this land that have some rights. We're already here, and some of them already mixed. Some already married with rights. Some don't married, but them here before the law, and then give them the way to be here. But we have to come together and make all of we protect who already have the legal rights, and with the racial community to support and strengthen the racial identity in this island. That is what we have to kick forward to. And if we don't do that kind of way, we'll have our problem not just with land, because definitely the planning organization of the last 50 years, because we cannot just talk about the Constitution of 1991. We have to talk also from when they declare them island free port. From them moment we become all this problem, because inside we was innocent to certain things, but today we live in the consequence. And one of them thing of land is how them build definitely also sections in a what was wetland them,
Correctly, yeah.
right? What we call them,
Yeah.
them.
A
Them the
wetland,
thing,
wetland, wetland.
right or wrong.
Yeah.
Also, and there's a lot of things more where we never do control, and we never have strong authority to make the law and respect. It's something where you have to put on your pants. If you don't put on your pants from this, no matter what, a lot of people will always generate scareness from you, will generate a lot of things, and you end up doing things that not protect the collective interest.
And brother, you share with the help of the Lord, if you get to be the governor of our island, you will see that these law comply.
Mr. Pusey, I know what I tell you, say, Erlid is a leader that can do everything him alone. That's why the secret is constructing the right team. If you put people that have skills, that have competence, that have willing, that have at least who are respectable pass and be in front of the different area them, for sure we can comply them law. But that is the first thing we have to do. We have to elect a good team that have the capacity to go out there and have
Who got the
strong
competence for what they're going to go
yeah,
do?
if everything, if you want to put somebody in a health, that has to be somebody we
For
have the
health,
experience,
correct,
but
what
not
you
just the
guys do
experience.
that,
Because if you have the experience, but he's a corrupt person, well, definitely you know why good need and you know why solution.
Amen.
Because then one can buy him out. So we need people with strong hands, strong head, and have clear the vision and the purpose you're kicking forward to. And with that, we can solution the problem and make the law them respect.
All right.
Of course, in a 4 years, you know, a solution all over, but we can left the island in our better condition. I will find it to the day.
That's good. That's good. That's good. A good idea is there, and I applaud that. And I hope that sit down that you have been holding on there, brother man. Believe me, that is clear. Brother Allen, what you got to say about this? What the brother been talking about? If you get to be one of our deputy there at the assembly, tell me.
No, then my Governa go and come with my support, and I go and be part of the team. All my experience, capacity, I go and put it in his hand. But that no means when I see things going wrong, I go and keep quiet.
Well, all right, that's
When
good. I applaud that.
and even I
I mean, you will
I
do that
live,
because you want to say the governor go good too.
Mr. Pusey, even I live the experience already. I gone with this actual governor.
All right.
I was gone with Mappa. And all these situations, I see it never gone in the line, in the promise where we make with the community of the new beginning.
Uh-huh.
And I take my decision and keep far from the project. Even when time I was in charge, I take decision where I had to take because, as he said, the purpose never going in the right way.
In the line, right?
And we was the follow up traditional way I make politician where you got all these type of people person where we call caciques where they tell you what you have to do or what you not to do or but all time then they press is to do things in base of them one particular benefit
Interest.
than one interest. So we consider say this our transparent project. We got a candidate where represent what change, and we going do all we effort for. We got a governor where really going do things different in the department. So our trust, our the community trust, say we got the sufficient character for in all the good things the government they do, we go and push and be a real support. But when things go wrong, I go and repeat the experience we had with this actual governor, and I go and show say Alan no go and follow things when time things went wrong, and I no go and push it.
Because experience put you to do things better. Experience put you to do things better. I believe that. I sure of that
Yes, sir, that is so.
correctly. For us to get near to this now, give us your direct plan that you have for yourself, what you have planned up to administrate now your government if you get to be your governor. Shortly.
Well, I don't explain part of the solution. Our population way is one of our principal subject in our program of government. But also we have 5 basic points that we think like is the foundation of our plan. And one of the first one where I think pick up plenty of the racial interest them is our territory and our ocean territory ethnical, equitative, and sustainable. That is our first base. That is what we call eje. The first base that we definitely going take the different programs them and the different projects and action to solution a lot of problem in our community. And precisely in this base, we have the solution of our population, but also we have a lot of programs that going talk about how to reinforce our ancestral practice like fishing and agriculture, because it's two things that we give up totally from 1950 when we this pile of people start come and build up hotel and the commerce and these things take our um, local people them out of them economical strength and take care them to be taxi driver and to be um, working in tourism and forget everything about agriculture. Well, thank Lord we have a few people keeping up these ancestral activities, and we want to reinforce it with budget and with action that we can give the fishermen them technology, we can give them security, we can give them definitely tools to go out there and protect, not just to fishing, to protect the marine areas them that being effective every day more and more. And how we can see without be an expert that we're being affected. You a little bit older than me, you can go along the coastal um, part of the island them and you can look. First time you could just go right there and see a lot of fishes swimming close to the
Yeah, don't to Will Silent thing disappear.
close to shore. You could throw your line and bring a good snapper home or a good barra or a good jack to the day. Not even that. Not even if you take your money and buy the gas and go out there in our little panga, what we call it, you can't even bring in a good fish. You have to wait till when some season and bonito start pick because bad weather come in or something like that and blowing a little bit of fish away. We bring it from maybe a little bit deeper and we have opportunity to fish. But the ecosystem them and what we call the bar them and the reef them, no got no fish from them at all.
Disappear
Because
totally.
the same overpopulation is we consume all them. I think
Right now we see that the people in Bilal in the
in the
mangroves
ocean,
too. Yeah,
in the mangroves and in the ocean.
And
So
mangrove that we probably fish them go and go.
Uspa, that is practically what we call that is the crib them
Yeah, for the hatch, yeah.
for the young fish them get all strength and go to the ocean. So we have to reinforce that definitely fishing, but not just that kind of way. We have to talk to our neighborhood them, go down Nicaragua, go down Costa Rica, go down Honduras, go down Jamaica, and make them come together and we structure policy with the national government and with these countries where is our neighbor them and make we take decision in common. We have to have synergy everywhere, not just in the local government, because with that we can really expect what protection of the ocean them and of all the ecosystem them that exists out there. We are talking about protection of our marine biosphere when we already lose 75,000 square meter water. We have to start talking to our neighbor then because part of what we talking about reserve and part of what we creating this moment of what we call weather or moment of protection of our species. Them are people down here not they in the same tonic with we and them come up and still continue fishing pan for we bank them and them the thing. Plus also we importing foreigners them from Colombia mainland to continue fishing in. So that is the thing where Alan just don't say. How we can understand? The first thing we have to try to do is we rise up to come together. We really want continue bringing foreigner to attend our different areas, then economical areas, but also construct areas, also fishing in and other topics, also the hotel and the tourism, bringing and importing people to attend to that. We have to become and start think what we want. When it convenience way, sometimes we say no, but we have to um, um, this man no I make no problem. We can bring in the fisherman them because also so Raisal is owner face the boat them. Yes, but make we try contrary, make we try bring the young people them, bring them up, try structure them to what we need and carry
I
them
want to
up.
say they through the same and make
Yes, we
agreement
come
like
together and
put them
teach
in correct to
and
make
teach the
them
young
teach
people
them to
them.
fishing.
That's why I tell you,
Yeah.
say, if you don't have a vision clear of what we want to carry the story to, always we ain't got them a type of discussion because when you affect sometimes some personal business, people go and get crazy because people living off of that, and I understand it. When you touch somebody's business, but the government have to sit down on the table and make we protect our collective interest, and also after someone get affected in personal interest about this, make we see how we solution with them and bring them also in what we're looking and in that vision we want to carry.
But also we have to put our cool people to action to because some of our cool people the other day I was taking a study at the center about the parabolic line them or something like that. And believe me, you out of all went there only about 3 islanders.
Imagine.
Out of 200 and add. So we got to wake up too.
Yeah, we have to
Like
wake
with
up
the sleep.
because the world, like how the Spaniards say, el camarón que se duerme se lo lleva la corriente.
Correctly, and
We
that's how they
have to
take
put
place too. I
on
see.
with battery and go there so and start take over the space them. We have a lot of professional. We have to be competitive, and we have how because we have the skills them. So we have to not just thinking about everything when drop and come to we have to go there and fight for it also and take over with spaces then we're going to lose it.
That is
And
very
make the
good.
law respect and be protective of our ethnical group and our ethnical population.
And make we know to we say that we got the first right in the island because it belongs to us.
You better know that.
Correctly, that's all. Brother Allen, that you get tired?
No?
The last word, make we hear.
The question is?
The question is, if you get to go by get the assembly, the one we're talking about the fishing line, we don't got no base right now about fishing in, we got to go far out to fishing. They're talking about to bring other people to come in because some of the people don't want to dive, they don't want this, they don't want that. But I believe say, if we take our young boy them, who don't let the clear on maybe foolishness, the extortionate people, they rob people and this and that, and bring them together, make they understand, say we got to study, line up this, and put them up in something that is saying for them to study about fishing and agriculture because we need that in the island, that they can make a living out of that. What kind of plan you will make out the assembly parties to function in our island?
Then, Mr. Pusey, first, we have to insist, so we have to apply the law, the 2762. I agree 100% with the resolution 1972 where the president take out. We can't permit, say, people that supply with resources and them not got okra. Any people when work or when they in the department, they have to comply with our requirement. No, we see the statistic, and we got a lot of fishermen in San Andres. We got the statistic tell we say we got 845 fishermen registered in the Secretaría de Agricultura.
Whether it's a residential.
Providence San Andres.
That shows that we got fishermen for the department. What we have to be conscious is really the technique where these fishermen want to apply. Because in a certain process, we can impose what we consider development. The development we have to build in consensus with people, and we have to come together with them 845 fishermen where we got in the department and see how we going work in the line with traditional way how we used to come the fishing. We can impose these fishermen so they got the obligation for yourself.
But Allen, hold on a little bit.
Yeah.
Hold on a little bit because we just see something to where we rights people that they comply with. I see the government support them both with freezer, lunch, and all kind of instrument for them to go out. They go do the job, and then leave these instruments for it to rotten and disappear totally. I would have said clear because I like that clear. This is the worklessness. And if you got to be one of our leaders to see that thing going up to go the right way, and the people themselves who put the part for this to go through, what you can do, you still don't want to do nothing. So we got to educate our people to take the thing where they give them or take the tools and start put the tools them to work. How much of these lunch I see where the government give these boys and they still there, they don't take some of them and sell them. So what we're talking about,
Then
you
really-
still out there talk foolishness.
Really,
Go ahead.
really what we say, Mr. Pusey, with them things where study happen, is a really them happen and nothing, you know, say really none question about it. Let's we say if these type of things happen, why the Secretaría de Agricultura, the deputy, them no open wa debate or political control to them for them explain what happened in that case.
Correctly.
For example, not just the look panda example. You remember the time when time there was like the aid to fisherman?
Uh-huh.
In that moment, everybody appears as a fisherman. People were doing know what then got what then doing know what the sea mean. Then we received the aid and people were really was getting necessity never get it. But who make control about that? And is there so we see which one is the mission, the principal mission of the deputy? All these type of situation when them happen, you have to get what process from open what space from make political control, and even the funcionario them way do the things the wrong way. The deputy can open what they call moción de censura.
Yeah.
And then can sanction the funcionario and take them out of the administration. But one time we ever see that happen, Mr. Pusey, that never happened none time.
And they got faculty to do that.
Yes, and then got the faculty. So is
the bylaw is there.
Yes, and is there so we analyze really.
And why not the function? Why these things not the function?
Because
the right people are not go there.
Interest.
I would have said that.
Yes, the right
I would
people
have said that.
go
The
there.
right people are not go there. Only go there be a politics and how the old man would have said.
And they,
So what need to do now, the people who are here right now, what need to be done now in a politics that and address, close up what's going on and put new people. And if these new set go there and go do the same thing, you close up them too and take new people till you find somebody who will do the right job.
Yes,
And, because if we're going around, they put the same dirty man them there. I don't want to call nobody dirty. But the same dirty clothes we they put on, they put there. You understand? So we got to make a change. And we the people can make the change. How? They change up this way, they up the because come man. Because all these things in Assembly, they tell me, and you know the function. Why you know the function? Because they don't got no interest about it.
yes, yes, brother Pusey, really all them situation where you the complain today, even is not you like person should have they express them situation. It's really the deputy them way call for make political control is who would have is the one them way should they press in that sense, but them not they do it. So is that so we don't understand if them not do the things the right way, how every 4 years the same community they vote for them. So
Alright.
is that how we have to start be
So,
serious too?
The committee they make the mistake.
Mr.
Yes.
Yeah, the committee make the mistake.
Mr.
And-
Pusey, I would like to finally finish the proposal that of solution we have committed with our community, because that was just the first base, and also we'll short of talk about plenty important things in the first base, that is the protection of our culture, also the protection of our environmental, and how definitely we can protect our ethnical group. And also what we talk about equitative. When we talk about equitative, is mean the different people in or inhabitants that live in our island should have a quality of health service. Also, it's sad to see that when you go to the hospital, you do even have a place in condition to tend to the sick people them, but also we not even have inside this structure or hospital the chair them, the bed them, the fan them, the whole staff or the top of the hospital. No, is in a really good condition. It's something that definitely we have to fertilize, and we have to rebuild or maintain to have a better space. And not just that, we have
Are you believe through the government can create a good budget to that happen?
yes,
It can happen?
I think like we're talking about, normally you have more or less 500,000 millions in each year of government, plus all additional maybe transference so they come in from Ley Primera, and so additional money that come in maybe through regalias. And when you finish some of all and things, you have a budget to solution this if the corruption will be controlled. Because a lot of things, if you go on the papers and revise all these contract them historically in the last 30 years, you have a lot of things solution on paper. But when you go into the reality and you go on the field, you find that you have the same problem. You have the same problem of maybe technology. You have the same problem of human workers that we need in the hospital. You have the same problem of maybe the local health um, uh, centers that we have in maybe San Luis and Loma. And definitely we're not repairing things no mind, but also we have to protect the environment, and we have important tools where is the declaratory of the reserve. We give with the implement them. That's why I think it's not just the government, the local government have a lot of tools how to solution the problem. Them. We have our institution like Coralina, we have institution like the DEMAR and other institutions them have to come together and start reinforce and control, and also if you have to chastise whoever doing the things
Hold on there, hold on there,
the wrong way.
hold on there.
Uh-huh.
That not the function of this at all.
At all, at all. That looks
So
like
if you get to be the governor and things like how I see the people in bed, the wetland, them and the build panic without no control and this and that, are you send a fine to them? You make sure so they have a pay the fine.
Mr. Peasy, we can talk to the DSA, we can make that commitment because the way
I understand you.
the way campaign is different.
Yeah.
We don't hold nobody. If you see the Congress maybe advertisement we have is from our local downtown railway saying
But what I noticed, and I want to talk clear tonight, what I noticed in this, as I tell you about the bad politics where people they stand up and that's why this thing they work. So, but the man they start run politics, and you know, they're going to barrier and build a little road.
road there.
One little road. And when they don't build a road now, when they go governation and get the governation, they make one project to build the same road again and they keep the money. Where the people look up and don't say that they happen. You understand? And say, no, this is a good politics because I come here and build some people will be poor in Ghana governation. But a man think good, be wise. That the same project the man go build and say, he don't do it already and that the money ain't going away. Lord said, when you tell me right now, we run politics, I just be support with project and do the job after we get the government.
It's so many ways the corruption installed in
Yeah.
the different institutions them. And maybe what you're saying is one of the ways, but so many ways installed and this thing we have to start broken out from this first step you have to make is the way how we've been making politics the last 30 years. How the same people that promised we since the last more than 30 years promised we
With the same old plan, the government plan, yeah, same old plan.
the same whole group of
I plan
people,
to the work.
family them to the day when come out and saying that is solution for the problem. So we don't got no memory. I like when Mr. Calvert say you have to know your history. You know,
Correctly.
repeat it and so the
Yeah.
history is clear and we know how
Are we
this
there a long
culture-
time?
So if we continue serving maybe what and maybe them stop with hungry for a day or a week, but if we pass hungry in the next 4 years, well, that is something where finally I say we merit the governor them where we the elect. But if we want a change, we have to think from somebody or a group of people and we're doing the thing then different from the moment I'm making politics. And that no means say it's just Erlid. Maybe the solution is not Erlid. But if you see representing all that what I'm saying today, you see someone that have maybe them skills that doing politics a different kind of way that maybe you can generate a confidence on, well, try stick to that because the solution is not them people that spending 20,000 and 10,000 and 5,000 million pesos out there because finally them panning out, then governability and no solution no coming. It's just all talk and lie them telling us.
Well, that part of it, And I want to say something clear because every time I got the program, I got to say
I don't
clear.
finish my program yet, but same way we can continue talk because
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
really want.
We're going to it. We're going to soon get to the final too. Me, Mr. Brother Pusey Carlos Antonio Pusey Brown. Whether they hear this program right now, talk clear. You will never see Brother Pusey rise up and both people put one pineapple with me. That would have never happened. You know why? And I want me right to hear this too because I got dignity. And I believe in what the Bible says. The Bible says after you put one stranger to rule you, that is cursed. And that's why today we they run as a beggar because we don't know if we control our own homeland. And I will beg every islander tonight in this program, if you don't want islander, vote for one up here. I don't care about the rest. I know they run politics, now I know politics. But I just say clear that we can understand that we ourselves got this job because we're behind somebody. I believe somebody who come and live as a resident here must be behind me to get something in my community, in my land. But I know when they're behind somebody who come from foreign, they're behind them to get something in my own home. But man, that is a nasty story.
But we have to go a little
yeah.
further because we have maybe islanders were being to power many times, and to the day they become and being talking about promises and being solution. We cannot vote for them
because
same
them to the
islanders
system,
neither.
you got so much
Because
to
the
the
islanders
system.
then will have the opportunity and finally do things the wrong way. We cannot confident in them the islanders no more neither. We have
Correctly.
to try thinking
100% to that.
on islanders that like how maybe say when we vote for well I never vote for him, but maybe a group like when maybe Allen I did vote for him in the first guy round, but not in the second guy. I feel like ever was somebody with a lot of way was have a big hopes on because him is a definitely is a bright man in how he express the ideas them, but definitely we don't know what happened to the day what the majority of the community
I know what happened.
no
And I can say right behind it, so I know what happened.
All right, so what happened?
The man joined with somebody where take away his governability. You understand? And because the man with him joined with take away governability, he went up to plot under him and all the mistake he made. Because all the secretary that Ganda governor so was this man that he mixed up with Gandhi, and everyone never do nothing at all for the benefit of the island. None of them. None.
join with
They
several.
sink it. You understand? And this mistake we can make again because me believe, and I believe it's set right self in the rules and Andres. There's no problem with all pleasure. I say clear on this radio station that the Spaniard them that born here, live here, resident here, got all the right as a human got. But to rule the ethnic territory, it got to be racial. That's my base, and I know the move on it. And I don't like discriminate nobody, I don't against nobody because in Colombia, in the Indian region, that not happen. Why should we as a racial people permit this thing? Right now, Providence make a mistake, it will happen just like what they happen down there. So make we stop make mistake and put in power our people. Go ahead, brother, make it your get finished.
No, finally, yeah, and well, that is our first base, and the second one is definitely education. Our children, them, boys and girls, have to be educated to be in front of the present and can receive also the future with the skills them.
Yeah, with this mix up, listen good. With this mix up, with our picnic them, in our school where they mix up with the outside of them, they got the base on them more on the Spanish. And in the school, I believe we could settle back our school. What I say, not bilingual. I don't talk about bilingual school. I'm talking about Ushpa, we go with mother tongue. Every teacher get a mother tongue. Right? We want to from the mother tongue and go to one bilingual school. We go by the bilingual
Well,
school.
definitely, I feel like the president talking about the particularity them of the different region them of the country.
Correct, I hear the president bring up the idea.
And I think
They got it right.
I think that the idea is to depends on the region you're in. You have to start reinforce the culture and the custom them for the region, and you have to have a structure of education where we could transmit not just maybe our identity and also different things in that pensum, what we call it, or in that curriculo. Sorry, we have to start inject that because the people, I don't think Spaniard will kick against this neither because we need generate that identity and that respect like ethnical
Ethnic school, like
ethnical
Bahira, you're correct.
ethnical territory. We have to bring back all our custom them, not just the fishing, the agriculture, also our architecture. We have to build back, we host them at least, if even inside we strengthen it what kind of way, but we have to send what image like identity outside, have to have what fachada will represent our culture. We know so we're there in front of some climate change and so things where you have to reinforce maybe the way of building and them things.
But when time people, when people used to build
but-
house, hurricane used to pass. I don't know if you know hurricane had passed at one time. I could have looked from south and back up on the hill and could have seen the whole land. But them used to build the house, the top used to high, that when the breeze come, it breeze. And they used to blow us out up. And no means house up, they blow up on it.
Yeah, well, I need to say we have new way of
better
building.
lumber.
We have engineering. We're in a technology. Right now, the era of the technology and engineering, we could definitely. I see some of the way people bringing some way of building like how them do KMAs with what we call, and also here they do it for a long time, but we forget it. What we call it for water tap them, and that was a practical.
One bill right behind our boy back when they came out, bill right behind.
Yeah, the only two houses them and the hurricane strap them and them things. We have to try and replace and try to build our house them with this because imagine what hurricane, what past Providence they are, they would have passed here direct. Would have today would have definitely a lot of problem, and to rebuild that Providence was more or less 1.5 billion peso. Imagine where Providence just have more or less 2,000 houses. San Andres we're talking about we have 16,000, nearly 17,000 houses in the island. And if you look out at the 17 houses, how much comply would maybe with a hurricane support or one of them what we call the
five category.
The codigos them where you have to build the house them to resist what hurricane. Well, finally, not even the 5% is complying with that with a law. So it's something where we have to become and start thinking on, but we have to preserve our culture, we have to preserve our identity. And the only way that can do is when you set it up, the plan of government, you left some resources clear in the different programs them to reinforce this. And that is the way we're planning to do it from our government, but also in that second base, what is the education, is the base of plenty things. If you tend to overpopulation and you join it with education, I'm going to tell you something. We're going to solution a lot of the problem them. We're going to solution health problem. We're going to solution a public service problem. We're going to solution the environmental problem them. We're going to solution mobility problem and a lot of problems. So if we base that structure on them are two things, overpopulation and education, brother man, I tell you say we will have a lot of solution to the next 4 years. But this is something where we know when just in 4 years we have everything fixed. We need at least one vision of territory, and I like repeat that because if we know left that vision of territory for the next 20 or 30 years, we will always buck and making mistakes
until we disappear.
And making a lot of mistakes, and finally maybe in 10 years more, today there we just what 20% arrival in this territory. If we not do things right, we know in 10, 20 more years, we will have a new race here where definitely we will be, and all our identity, and this will be a colony maybe of other cities, but we know why be no more.
We are done right now. Community. We are done right now about the
security
topography in the land. These change of name and things like that where I go on, because right now, brother, that our mess in a San Andres. And it must supposed to have a law that it prohibited to change the original name of the land because that the way they take away even the racial identity. They change the name of the place. You don't know who Miss Rose stay?
By me one?
Miss Rose.
You're right, by the hill one, I know exactly where.
Miss Rose still part in call Las Palmas.
Yeah.
The Miss Rose.
Oh, yeah.
Correctly. Hillwell. Well, they're not changing something. They're not changing that.
Yeah, they're not changing that.
But right now, you know, here, Guinea hen, they take that and they give one totally and that other big mess where you know, San Jose and call Natanya.
Yeah.
And that name Guinea hen.
Guinea hen.
So, brother, you got the last to
Yeah,
say.
the project, and we have to apply, not just, we have to apply for inside the government because the government register.
That go through plan, that's all right?
Them new section with them the name. So, yeah, we should reinforce back the traditional name them through a project what we call toponymia, no?
Yeah,
and,
correctly.
And finally with a solution. But the third base is definitely one where plenty people don't like here to talk about is a transparent and public administration, and they will have to attack hard the corruption. If we not do it that kind of way, Mr. Pusey, we are always going to have
that means when you're going to governor, you're going with all your quality, we're going to for.
Yes, sir.
You don't come here too because you're a politics. This and politics, this and padrino, this and padrino. That. You're going with the quality. You study this, and at this, you're work on.
Yes.
You want to say you can do what the law call for, and you're going to do your job. And that the man make a vow for.
Yes, sir.
That's why corruption and vote before God and they take vote before God and do the thing, it can't function.
Yeah, and I know why the people then believe 100% in just what I'm saying. I feel like conscious people should investigate a little bit about what we say because I can be all talking like a traditional politician and also maybe a lot of even our companion right now that aspiring to being deputy and to being also the major of this island have maybe beautiful speech and beautiful solution on papers, but we have to look what maybe which group them belongs to, who's surrounding them, and definitely what them doing in their life. If them have any result to show in their personal life and also in their laborer life. So then the things is what give you some instrument clear to take a decision. So I'm not believing that just why I tell him believe, look and maybe find out the different organization and the things them you do and what you do, but not just find out maybe the perception what they want to generate around. You have to find out and see if you're being sanctioned, if you're being
if somebody prove to know them.
Yeah, if you're being recognized by the work you do, and all those things you have to do to have the instrument name to elect the new governor in the next go round. And the fourth one is something where is important, where is the economy. And in the economy, we go back to the first part. Definitely, we cannot just depend on tourism and just think that bring more people will be the solution. Already we passed over the 1,300,000, nearly 1,500,000. While we believe that was going to be a constant. That wasn't a constant. It just was a result after our pandemic where everybody was locked up. Then want to go to somewhere to pass a vacation. And San Andres was one of the first destiny that opened in the world. And we have a lot of people make reservation. And that's why we have this amount of people come in like when you open work open and you let out them
everybody get to it.
and you're not getting water and you're not getting grass for a long time. Then why go drink water and go eat grass? So the same thing happened here. So this we cannot continue because it's not sustainable, not just because we're going to have good economy, but also what will happen to our resources them. What happening with the public service them. You can notice the water, the dirty water and the smelling them in at the different part of the touristical area them every day increase more and more. The garbage them, look on the hill when you go around how the section name
Maris Landing?
No. What the garbage? Schooner Bite. When you go around Schooner Bite, the mountain nearly come to the height of hill.
You're a mountain or you're on a mountain.
And that if you sit from the plane or from the air, you go and see what geography will change around it just with garbage.
Yeah.
So imagine we have to start thinking on other things in economy like circular economy, like how our island do it. We have to start thinking on solution and water and stop just think on what we call underwater groundwater because we have just 2 billion of water and one of them already effective in a bad way and the other one is finally done. And so we have to thinking about other way to solution our water system. And all of the things what governor have to think on. And if it's not a governor, we understand how public administration function, and also not just understand it, because some understand how it function, but if we do things the wrong way, we have to understand it to solution the problem then. So that is what I invite you to do. And the last one definitely is the infrastructure, the public infrastructure to bring was social prosperity. And when we're talking about that is to recover our infrastructure in education, or the school them, recover the infrastructure in a health or a hospital, and also the health center them from the section them of San Luis Hill. And also I think it's time enough to carry health center to the Spaniard section them.
Chancellor, correctly. Very good. Yeah.
Because that
one should be in Natanya the way all the people live. One can be in another place.
Because already the hospital have a congestion of full all day, and maybe full in this way, solution in our.
And we not got no road neither. If any emergency, we not got no road.
So the infrastructure we have to recover, also the sidewalk them. We have to think about the what we call the surround of the island. We have to clean the sidewalk them. We have to plant a tree. We have to make the people stop the abuse of the public area, the area them. Everybody just park with them. Why? Everybody just build with them. Why? Everybody just do with them.
2 seconds. About this. San Andres have been big with this thing we call golf car. Much of it than no rival people, that people from outside who even come from Cantidate, come commit business in a San Andres with this golf car. What you will do if you get to be with us, our population too. Right now, we're not going to wait to drive much like the park. And this is our problem in San Andres. What you will do toward that about the mobilization in San Andres?
Definitely, first you have to start with educational part, what we call cultura ciudadana. You have to give the people a chance for them try solution with an educational proposal. Finally, after that time pass and no solution, and the government also have to rebuild or build a space of parking that people have where to maybe. But when you're talking about business, you cannot develop a business without guarantee. If you have a space where to put up your car them and your things them, you cannot think on a rental business if you don't have a space. And you cannot just go and invade a public space and put maybe kiosk or something like that, because you just you have to start comply the law. So you give the people a chance. Meanwhile, till when the government have a solution to give spaces to the people and can develop business, you can come to agreement for at least the people and pay our rent, but at least they have something for you say, okay, this cost is not just there and you just want to be it just like that. You got our rent, so I know why I'm building no other because I want to pay rent, I know pay rent, then when I dig up the thing and do it that kind of way. We have to look several solutions to come together with the people and have a synergy and put in the order. You cannot just need to come and mash down the whole island, because we're talking about what illegal practically they develop at this whole island. We have at least what 80% were developed on illegal practices. So we have to have some solution, have an educational moment, and after that, control and sanction. And definitely that is the
way we have to get in a line to them. Not because of rights, so you have to get in a line. Because we are the program to give the example.
Definitely. And the infrastructure we have to record also the sport, and also have to carry park to the different, but not them the park when maybe we're carrying a politics moment, and afterward how we recover them money. So is them the thing we have to think about, and then the road and the bill is them the thing we have to question. If you sum up them amount of money, how much money you spend, we're talking about campaign about 20-30,000 million pesos, and at the end of the day,
no, they say in politics I hear that.
No, that is not no good with that. If we see tax money them and the same money them where all the Colombian tax and then coming to win at the transference them, and we end up have to pay it back, because when they go back to the seat, they want to take it not just the same amount, they want to take it 100 and 200 times interest. So
if one man lands so 2 times and the 2 times get there and come back again and start paying all the money, he's going to go pick up money. You're going to do nothing.
You're not going to do nothing. All the way they promise with a beer lie, and we know it. We can't play the fool.
At least the people have to know. The people have to know that. And if maybe don't know a baby know that. What baby have to know that. So
Common sense.
Boule used to tell we all everything. Never think we have to wake up now. We can't make. We don't know what happened. So
Well,
we
all right.
stop playing the fool.
yeah.
If
All
we
right. So
vote for the type of
people open up, get wise and
if we
do
vote
the
for
thing
the
the right
type
way.
of program, we definitely merit what happened to we in the next 4 years again.
Well,
We
all
have
right.
to put conscience on this. This is something serious. This is not what game, and this is not for laugh when you see man go out there so and then come out and a forward in a yacht and in a business and they want where they getting money from. It's something clear and plain and straight. It's something we have to cut from the root, and the only way to cut it is you have to start from now, from try elect what option at least when no pan out themselves to them traditional way of
Well,
making politics.
the people got to wake up. Wake up, people. Wake up. So, Brother Allen, give your number and your Logan where the people then can mark, be marking Brother Allen and also the governor. Governor, give your appointment, how the people then be
Well-
mark, the day when them be go and go vote, how them supposed to mark the card that was out there. Give the highlight to the people them. They could get to the final part.
Well, this is Erlid Arroyo, Newball. I am the first one on the card, the votation card. So when you just go between 9 October, beg your card, don't think it out. The first man you see this up on the card marking, mark up your face, and that is the option because we know why you mark your face just to be why emotion moment or because a bag of rice. We don't want mark you mark the first face because we have
The governor the land.
the governor,
Yeah,
the
the
governor,
governor the land.
the governor of the
Yeah.
land, the first one on the Tarleton, because we have a proposal out there, we have a commitment with the community, and we are already sure what we're up to. And we want to give you the opportunity to think pan all of it, not just to think pan yourself or think pan your personal interest. We have to start think in our collective interest, everything about what sustainable development in our
And a change,
island.
and a change.
Erlid,
up, yeah.
Arroyo, Newball. Don't forget that. This is the number one Panitar Heton.
All right.
Then my
Brother Allen.
name is Allen G. Stephens, but anyhow, in the tarjeton no know why I see the name. So the tarjeton fan assembled divided by group. We is the group F, and I is the number 51, and the party or the coalition name is Alianza por el Archipiélago. So I repeat it.
Brother Alex,
I repeat it. Alianza por el Archipiélago, number 51, and with the in the group F.
All right. If the mark only mark the number, Brother Allen G, only the number, and no mark they go keep up with the party, you still get the vote?
We still get the vote, but we want the party get the vote too. So the idea is for them mark the party
Mark the
and
two
mark
of
the
them.
number.
All right, that's good. We
Yes,
understand that. All right. So, Unubai can be come and another person will be invited again because I believe we'll get another go around because we want with people here clear that we can't continue with this kind of politics where they go on in there and the system politics are going on in there. We have to change up strategy, we have to change up idea, we have to put in new people and try the new people them and say somebody talk about experience. You go in at something to get experience. I believe that. I know I get to part I get in at this electronic system, I spy a pilot television. I spy a pilot instrument, but no, I got the technical part. I don't to them make them know. You know why? Because you got to learn to do, and after you get the experience about things. So my people, we get the experience. I said this politics not working as an Andres. I we got some new people who rise up to launch out themselves to see if we get a change. Make we try. Make we try the new change. Make we try because it's a try there, and the Bible teaches me that if anyone are in Christ is a new creature. So make we drop today as a new creature to see something change in a San Andres. Unubai, give the last and make we go.
Yeah, well, I want to thank you, Mr. Pusey, today to invite you to this wonderful program. For me, definitely I feel myself comfortable because we're talking in our mother tongue language. We talk with our people and know say then they hear we not just here, then they hear we also in the internet, in the whole archipelago and also outside. So I'm by to know say in this next 29 October, we really take conscience of what's going on. I know say finally eh, all with a human being and sometimes you vote for someone thinking that they want to be the best and then don't come out the right way you want it. But we cannot give up with hopes and just make two, one, two, or several persons to the day. We not try take a chance and try elect somebody that will do something different to the department. Not just him alone. Someone to have the capacity to farm a team to go out there and struggle for all our native islanders people and also the resident them that
Got it right.
is out there and have the right to be in this territory because it's time enough for them the people start who have right come together with the
Push
rights
along with the rights
and,
correctly.
and,
Yeah, I
and,
agree
de-
100%
and
to that.
defend the rights
Yeah.
and defend the racial community
Uh-huh.
ethnical group and defend also our culture and our behavior. So don't forget, both fair lead and the tarjeton, the number one. Have a special greetings to you all and good night to all one of you.
All right. And I will say the last. No vote with emotion, vote with conviction.
Yeah, man.
Emotion is a lot of things, but conviction that will carry to the right thing. Vote with conviction. God bless you, boy. Thank you for the coming. Till the next time again, I will invite you. I want to invite you to still come because we got good things to talk about because it's a talking clear. All right. Thank you all.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Mr. Pusey.
En Ferretería Polo, aquí todo es más barato. Materiales para la construcción, para el hogar, la hotelería, la industria, herramientas eléctricas, pinturas. Trabajamos en jornada continua. Teléfono